As Joe Judge said several weeks back, the fish stinks from the head down. As I noted last night after the game, or at least during the game, the fish stunk from the head all the way to the butt. To the extent that a fish has a butt, ponder whether or not fish have butts, as we hear from Joe Judge talking about the very butt-like performance last night by the Giants.
It's not your job to be patient. It's not the fans' job to be patient. It's our job to go out there, all right, and give them something to cheer about. So let's just be clear about that right now. Fans buy tickets. Whatever they want to say in the stands, they've bought that right to do that. Fans support us. Fans watch us at home, okay? They root for us. They pull for us. We appreciate that. It's our job to give them something to be proud of. It's not their job to, have blind faith in us. We've got to go out there and we have to work and put ourselves in a position that the fan base has something to cheer for, okay? So, look, I take this very personally, all right? I'm a man of my word. When I look in the camera and I tell people of New York, New Jersey, the fan base area, when I tell them we're going to give you something to be proud of, I'm not asking you to be patient. That's not your job. I'm telling you we're going to put something on the field you can be proud of, okay? That's on my name, okay? You understand that? That's on my name, all right? I'm the leader of this team. I'm in charge of this team. That's on me. I don't point fingers. I don't make excuses. All right, we're going to get this right.
Yeah, except for when the headsets don't work, but that's a different issue altogether. That's Pete. That's Pete, the Giants fan.
Oh, he's mad. He's more mad than me. He's bitter as hell.
Now, look, I think that the average Giants fan would listen to that and say, "Thank you very much for your candor. We're good, though. We don't need you to try to fix it. We're ready to move on to somebody else." I think that's what the average Giants fan would say right now. And whether it's Joe Judge, Dave Gettleman, John Mara, wherever the stink from the fish is primarily emanating, and I got an email last night from Giants fan Bob, Mara should fire everyone in the front office, the entire coaching staff, release every player, and then sell the team. That would that's the general attitude right now from a Giants fan. But look, what else is Joe Judge going to say? But at the same time, how patient are Giants fans willing to be with this iteration of front office and coaching staff? I have a feeling they're running out.
No, they are. Listen, Pete, yeah, he's sitting here producing the show. He's done with it. I'd like to talk him off the edge. I do. First off, I could really, I know Joe Judge. I was with him in New England. It is personal to him. This is like a lifelong dream for him. He's put his life and soul into this. This is a dream job for him. Grew up in the Philadelphia area to be in the NFC East, the New York Giants. He has such respect for the game, the tradition of the NFL. I know this is killing him 100%. So I want to back him up with a little bit of what he's saying right there. And he's not a guy that's going to take shortcuts. He's a guy that I witnessed when I was in New England because I was like a fellow bitch boy with him as far as we had to do all the dirty work. He was one of the first guys in the building every day, if not the first in the building. I mean, we're talking 4:30 a.m. He's there. So he's willing to do it. And Mike, I know I'm biased here because I know him. But, I've known other coaches and I don't stick up to them the way I stick up for Joe Judge. He
needs somebody to. Kyle doesn't need you to stick up for him for the most part because it's working.
Well, there's other ones
too. Should he have not taken that job? Yeah. Should he have realized maybe this isn't the right time, the right place, the right job for me? Given how given where Dave Gettleman's a GM and the current status of the roster, maybe I should wait.
Right. You'd like to say that, but Mike, how that game goes. You wait, and all of a sudden you don't get a freaking job for 5 years or something. It's hard. You just can't turn these type of jobs down. There's only 32. It's like the paycheck.
He'd have got one. He'd have got one with Bill pushing him the way he pushed him for that job. He'd have gotten one.
Bill did, yeah, I'm sure. We know Bill did push him for that job. There's no doubt. Now, Bill pushed him for that job for some Bill reasons, I think. But also, I think Bill.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well,
what do you mean? I'm confused.
Well, I think Bill wanted to make sure that he didn't lose Josh McDaniels, and he finagled it that Joe Judge got the job. I think that's what he was. That to me was one of the things. We've talked about that, back at the time, kind of messed up the situation to where Carolina, gave Matt Rule the job, and then he it sounds like worked his magic to make sure Joe Judge got the job with the Giants. That's kind of how it went down. You talk to people in the NFL. So, yeah, there was part of that. But as Joe Judge, from where he sits, yes, it's hard to not say, oh, I'll wait. My time will come somewhere else. A lot of people didn't want the Giants job because of one reason. Yeah, they were scared of the team, the way it was built, and Dave Gettleman, period. There's no other way to say it. And I don't mean to, disrespect Dave Gettleman. I don't. I got a lot of respect for what he's done in his career. But there is major, major issues with the team that directly reflect him, whether it's trades, free agent contracts, whatever. And that's where I'll defend Joe Judge. You're not going to win any games in the NFL when your offensive line is the lesser unit on the field every game. And then your defensive line, yes, has some big people, but has nobody that can really make a play other than Leonard Williams. And then you get into the linebacker. Most modern fans don't know any of the linebackers on the Giants. The secondary is a bunch of patchwork there as well. So there's issues across the board there, and that's where I'm going to defend Joe Judge. I'm sorry. I mean, I know I seem like a homer, but I don't look at Joe Judge and have the same feeling I had when I looked at Pat Shurmur or, Ben McAdoo. That was one where I went through a year, 14 months, and I went, they got to go. They're in over their heads. See you later. Bye-bye. We got to get somebody else in here. I don't get that feeling with Joe Judge, and maybe that's my personal bias again. I know, and people are certainly allowed to accuse me of that. But you've heard me say a lot during the years. Last year wasn't that bad. They fought and became respectable. And a lot of games that I watch, I sit there and go, I think the approach to the game is the right way. Now, whether they can actually pull it off, yeah, more times than not, they can't because they have to lose the battle up front in just about every game. And that affects, everything. So, I am going to defend him right now. I am. I don't think the Giant fans should be so mad at him. I think there's other areas to be mad at, obviously.
And let's not forget that the big decisions are being made from the top of the organization, the co-owners of the team, John Mara and Steve Tisch. Tisch really isn't involved in the operation of the franchise. John Mara is the guy who's calling the shots. He's the guy who I assume signed off on Ben McAdoo. He signed off on Pat Shurmur. He signed off on Dave Gettleman. And at some point, the people who are making the big hires are the problem. But you can't fire the person who's ultimately responsible for all the big hires. It's what Jed York said 5 or 6 years ago. I'm the CEO. You can't dismiss the CEO. And that's what a fan base is stuck with, because no amount of clamoring, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Boycott the team? They're going to remove from their DNA the fact that they grew up watching Giants games with their grandpa, their dad, their ma, their grandma, their aunt, their uncle, whoever, that family bond that causes that blood to turn blue. You can't expect fans to do it. It's the ultimate grift if you're an owner that either doesn't know how to get out of the weeds, which is possible, or doesn't care, which happens. And they've won 2 Super Bowls over the past 15 years. That's 2 more than plenty of teams still
that's right.
Don't have. And but right now it's not good. I don't know that the memories of a Super Bowl win from 10 years ago are helping Giants fans through this period, because it's just like the Jets. It's not working. It's perpetually not working. And now you've got this dysfunction where, do we fire the GM and keep the coach and saddle the new GM with a coach that the new GM may not want? And then we have to do that all over again. Yeah. Just like in New York, Joe Douglas needs to go. Well, what's the new GM going to do with Robert Saleh then? Well, then you get a new coach and then a new GM and then a new coach. And it's lather, rinse, repeat. And both teams in New York seem to be caught in that same dysfunction. And I think, hey, equal time here. I think ownership is the problem for both of the franchises. They never get criticized. They hide behind the curtain. Right. We don't make football decisions, even though they make the most important decisions that end up being the root of the failure of the team.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't make a point there that I can really argue. I can't argue anything what you said. I really can't. What I can tell you is, knowing the Mara family since a little kid, nobody's more hurt about the team than the Maras. This is their love, the passion, the whole family. I mean, it really is. So I'm sure they're distraught. And, you know, in my perfect world, I'd like to see the Giants, when the year's over, get a GM from the New England tree in some capacity who's going to understand what Joe Judge and the coaching staff are all about, how they want to build the team. You tell that GM, you know, yes, hey, you're here. You know, we'd like to make it work with Joe Judge. You guys can be on the same New England cohesive type of page. And if it doesn't work after a year or two, then we'll get rid of Joe Judge and you're here and you'll be able to hire the coach you want. But that, to me, is the route I'd like to see them go. Because I don't look at it as a Joe Judge problem right now. And I know maybe I'm in the minority there. I don't. But I've been around football a long time, and I think you know me well enough, too, that – you know, I wouldn't be so passionate if I didn't really believe it. Again, I know there's some personal bias there, but I think you've seen me, you know, with other people I know, not stick my neck out quite the way I'm sticking it out right now for Joe Judge.
The only problem with that approach, though, is if you are hiring someone to be the GM who doesn't have Joe Judge on that person's private list of names that they keep in their right front pocket of coaches I will consider hiring when I become a GM. It's just the mind's already made up.
Yes.
It's already made up. It's just a matter of time before Judge is out.
That's why I say it's got to be from New England. Right.
But it's got to be somebody who from
understands
New England
and trusts
who says,
and knows it. Right.
That he's on my list.
Yes.
That Joe Judge is on my list of guys I would hire to be a coach.
Agreed.
Then it works out.
Then it works, maybe.
You're not going to get the truth when you're dangling a GM job. You're not going to get the truth. Just like you're not going to get the truth from a coach about the quarterback. Yeah, he's my guy. Oh, yeah, I'll make it work. Oh, yeah. And then Josh McDaniels dumps Jay Cutler right out the door. Is his first order of business when he gets the job in Denver.
I was there.
I'm not faulting him for it. It's you know, you do what you have to do and you say what you have to say to get the job, and then you worry about the details later.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.